Russia is building a futuristic rail network so fast it might just rival Japan and China. And it's happening now. In this video, we are going to look at Russia's top 10 high-speed rail megaprojects as of 2025. From Moscow to the mountains of the Caucasus, these massive infrastructure plans aim to cut travel times in half and connect 11 time zones with speed and precision. We'll explore how these lines are being financed, where they're going, and what it all means for Russia's future in global transport. Stick around, this is not just about trains, it's about transformation. Number 1. Moscow-St. Petersburg high-speed rail. The beating heart of Russia's high-speed rail dreams lies in the ultra-important corridor connecting Moscow and St. Petersburg, two economic and cultural giants in Russia. Stretching 679 kilometers, this corridor has historically relied on traditional trains that take 4 to 5 hours. With the proposed high-speed line, that travel time will be slashed to as little as 2 to 2.5 hours. This means you could leave Moscow in the morning and arrive in St. Petersburg in time for lunch or even commute for business the same day. This isn't just an upgrade, it's a transportation revolution. The new trains are being designed to reach speeds up to 360 kilometers per hour, putting them in the same league as Japan's famous Shinkansen or France's TGV. That kind of speed brings with it not only convenience but strategic advantages in moving talent, tourists and business travelers between two key cities. The investment behind this project is staggering. Over 2.3 trillion rubles, equivalent to about 26 billion US dollars. The financing is a collaborative effort backed by state resources and major financial institutions like VTB, Sberbank and Gazprom Bank. Construction has already begun on the city entrance segments, while full-scale construction of the main line is expected to kick off by mid-2025. Authorities hope to see the trains up and running by 2028. This corridor is about more than just speed. It's a symbol of modernization and a demonstration of Russia's ambition to close the mobility gap with Europe and East Asia. The line will use a blend of cutting-edge signaling technology, noise reduction infrastructure, and aerodynamically engineered train cars. Once operational, the Moscow-St. Petersburg HSR will help reduce pressure on air travel, cut down road traffic, and boost regional economies in ways that are hard to overstate. Number 2. Moscow-Kazan high-speed rail. Another strategic link in Russia's HSR blueprint is the proposed line between Moscow and Kazan. Spanning approximately 762 kilometers, this project is significant because it could drastically reduce the current 13-hour trip to just 3.5 hours. That's nearly a full workday saved for both business and leisure travelers. Kazan, the capital of the Republic of Tatarstan, is more than just another Russian city. It's a dynamic cultural, educational and economic hub. Connecting Kazan to Moscow at high speeds would act as a catalyst for regional development, tourism and innovation. It's part of a larger vision to balance economic growth across Russia rather than concentrating it in Moscow and St. Petersburg alone. Although no official start date for construction has been announced as of 2025, the project has already passed through various feasibility and engineering studies. If completed, this corridor could serve as the backbone for a future eastward HSR expansion toward Yakatrinberg, Novosibirsk, and beyond. That would be a game-changer in connecting Russia's sprawling interior to its major cities and could eventually stretch toward Asia, integrating with broader Eurasian transport corridors. Number 3. Moscow-Voronezh-Rostov-Adler high-speed rail. Perhaps one of the most exciting and impactful HSR proposals on the table is the line connecting Moscow to the Black Sea resort city of Adler, passing through Voronezh and Rostov-on-Don. At nearly 1,500 kilometers, the current travel time is over 23 hours by train, but with high-speed rail this could be cut down to just under 8 hours. Why does this matter? For one, Adler is the entry point to Sochi, home of the 2014 Winter Olympics and one of Russia's most visited tourist destinations. By slashing travel time by nearly 2/3, this project would make weekend beach trips or spontaneous business travel a reality. The estimated cost is about 3.2 trillion rubles. If completed, The Moscow-Adler route would provide a powerful alternative to domestic air travel, reduce traffic congestion and drive tourism throughout southern Russia. As a strategic corridor, it could also revitalize economic activity in cities like Voronezh and Rostov-on-Don, which often serve as regional administrative and logistics centers. Although still in the early stages of consideration, this line has immense potential. It could effectively transform how Russians and even international tourists access the southern regions of the country. Number 4. Moscow-Nizhny Novgorod high-speed rail. The planned connection between Moscow and Nizhny Novgorod is another vital project designed to shorten travel within the country's core economic zone. Covering 421 kilometers, this high-speed route is expected to reduce travel times by nearly 50% compared to conventional options. Nizhny Novgorod is known for its industrial base, growing tech ecosystem, and significant historical heritage. Enhancing its accessibility through high-speed rail could lead to stronger business ties, improved real estate development, and a boom in domestic tourism. While construction hasn't yet begun, planning is underway, and the route is seen as a high priority. This project is also a testbed for integrating modern rail systems with existing Russian infrastructure. Authorities are exploring hybrid train models, energy-efficient designs, and smart monitoring technologies to ensure safe and reliable operations. Number 5. Moscow-Smolensk-Minsk high-speed rail. Looking beyond national borders, the Moscow-Smolensk-Minsk high-speed rail project embodies Russia's goal of deeper Eurasian connectivity. This international route would connect Moscow with Minsk, the capital of Belarus, via the city of Smolensk. Current travel time stands at roughly 6 hours. Once complete, the new HSR line is expected to cut that journey nearly in half, reducing it to just over 3 hours. At an estimated cost of 1.9 trillion rubles, the project is still in the planning and negotiation phase. However, its strategic significance is huge. Not only would this enhance cross-border trade and tourism, but it could also be the foundation for further links between Russia, Belarus, and eventually other parts of Europe. In an era of shifting geopolitical dynamics, infrastructure like this serves as more than just a transport solution. It's a diplomatic and economic tool. The project sends a clear message. Russia is committed to building long-term partnerships with its neighbors through tangible, mutually beneficial projects. Number 6. Moscow-Yakatrinberg high-speed rail. Yakatrinberg, Russia's fourth largest city, sits near the Ural Mountains, considered the dividing line between Europe and Asia. Connecting Moscow to Yakatrinberg with a high-speed rail line is about more than reducing travel time. It's about creating a seamless corridor across the Eurasian continent. The proposed journey time is 6 hours and 36 minutes, covering a distance of over 1,400 kilometers. Compared to the current train ride, which takes more than 25 hours, this would be a dramatic improvement. The estimated cost is about 4 trillion rubles, one of the highest among all proposed HSR lines in Russia. The benefits, however, justify the price tag. This line would stimulate economic cooperation between European Russia and its vast eastern territories. It would also serve as a strategic gateway for trade and cargo transit moving between Europe and Asia, especially in the context of China's Belt and Road Initiative. Number 7. Moscow-Riga high-speed rail. The Moscow-Riga high-speed rail corridor, once seen as a promising connection to the Baltic states, has faced delays and uncertainties in recent years. However, if revived, this project could significantly enhance connectivity between Russia and Latvia, opening the door to improved cultural exchanges, trade routes, and tourism opportunities. Covering a distance of over 900 kilometers, the line would shorten what is now a 15-hour trip to potentially just under 6 hours, assuming trains run at 250 to 300 kilometers per hour. Although geopolitical tensions and economic hurdles have temporarily stalled this initiative, there is still optimism among regional planners that future diplomatic developments could renew interest. Such a rail line would serve as a critical artery for cooperation between Eastern Europe and the Russian Federation, especially for Baltic exporters seeking faster access to Russian markets. Number 8. Moscow-Minsk alternate line. Separate from the previously discussed Moscow-Smolensk-Minsk project, another Moscow-Minsk high-speed rail option has also been proposed, offering a slightly different routing with a focus on connecting lesser-known towns along the way. This version would cover around 700 kilometers, aiming for a travel time of approximately 6 hours, with speeds averaging 120 kilometers per hour. Announced in 2019, this project has since seen limited progress, with much of its planning remaining on the drawing board. Nevertheless, it underscores Russia's continued interest in strengthening its bond with Belarus through infrastructure. Whether this line merges with or diverges from the Smolensk corridor, the shared goal is to foster closer political, social and commercial ties between the two countries. Number 9. Chechen Republic High-Speed Rail Network. The Chechen Republic has made headlines with its ambitious vision to create a localized high-speed rail network aimed at improving internal mobility and linking the republic more directly to Russia's national transport grid. With an estimated cost approaching $13 billion, this network represents a major undertaking for a relatively small region. Officials from Chechnya have formally requested federal support, citing the need to enhance regional integration, stimulate investment and create jobs. Initial economic and environmental feasibility studies are underway, and the proposed network is expected to connect key urban centers within the Republic and neighboring areas. If implemented successfully, it could serve as a model for how regional infrastructure can uplift underserved areas, improve public services, and contribute to national unity. Number 10. Northern Latitudinal Railway. Originally envisioned as a high-speed corridor in northern Russia, the Northern Latitudinal Railway, NLR, has seen a strategic pivot. Authorities have shifted focus away from speed and toward expansion and reliability, especially to support industrial development in Siberia and the Russian Far East. The terrain in northern Russia presents formidable engineering challenges, from permafrost to extreme seasonal conditions. As such, current NLR plans are centered on enhancing freight movement and supporting extractive industries like oil, gas and mining. Still, this corridor holds strategic importance, as it could one day be integrated with future HSR lines running farther south. Let's look at why high-speed rail projects matter for Russia's future. Beyond the technology and sheer ambition of these projects lies a bigger story: how infrastructure can transform a country's future. Russia's vast size has long been both a blessing and a burden. While it offers abundant resources and geopolitical depth, it also poses massive logistical challenges. High-speed rail is Russia's answer to this dilemma. Take a moment to consider the countries that have successfully invested in high-speed rail: Japan, France, Germany, China. What they share is not just efficient transport systems, but economies that are highly interconnected, where cities collaborate instead of compete, and where innovation travels as fast as the trains do. High-speed rail boosts productivity by saving time, energizes tourism by improving accessibility, creates jobs during construction and operation, and reduces emissions by offering a cleaner alternative to cars and planes. It also fosters equity by integrating remote regions into national life. What are the challenges on the way? See, none of this will be easy. Funding remains a huge hurdle. While major banks and government bodies have stepped in to finance flagship projects, others depend on future public-private partnerships and international investment. Then there's the issue of technological adaptation. Russia must combine domestic rail knowledge with imported systems, ranging from French signaling tech to German track design. Construction through Russia's varied geography, from urban congestion to snowy mountain passes, adds complexity and cost. And finally, international collaboration for cross-border lines will depend heavily on the global political climate. What to watch in the coming years? Keep your eyes on the Moscow-St. Petersburg corridor. As Russia's most developed HSR project, its success or failure will influence every other line. Watch how fast construction progresses, how well new technology is implemented, and how passengers respond to pricing and comfort. Success here will greenlight broader investments and increase public trust in the National Rail Modernization Plan. Also worth monitoring are the routes connecting Moscow to economic hubs like Kazan and Yakatrinberg. These will be vital for decentralizing Russia's economy and ensuring balanced growth across regions. International corridors to Belarus and the Baltics may evolve with shifting geopolitics, creating new trade pathways or unexpected challenges. In conclusion, Russia's high-speed rail ambitions are bold, far-reaching, and filled with potential. They reflect a broader vision of national progress, where mobility isn't just about moving people, but about moving the economy, society, and the country forward. If these projects are realized as planned, they could usher in a new era of connection, opportunity, and development. Thank you for staying with us through this deep dive into one of the world's most ambitious infrastructure strategies. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content that explores the innovations shaping our future.